Hari Om, everybody. It's 10 o'clock. Welcome back. Let's get started. Oh. Ganana Ganapatigum Havamahe Kavin Kavina Mupamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanaspatāna Shrimannuti Dasadanam Prano Devi Saraswati Vajebhirvajinivati Dhinam Vityavat Om Ganeshaya Namaha Om Saraswatyai Namaha Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Shuklam Baradaram Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasanna Vadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopashantaye Vagishadya Sumanasah Sarvarthanam Yam Natva Kritakritya Syuh Tam Namami Gajananam Vakratunda Mahakaya Koti Surya Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhirbhavatu Me Sada Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Gnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwarah Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Yasya Sannidhi Matrena Sarve Shishyascha Sevakaha Karmakshetre Pravartante Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham Chinmayam Tam Namamyaham. Let's do the Dhyana Shloka. Namasavitre Jagadeka Chakshushe Jagat Prasute Sthiti Nasha Hetave Trayi Maya Yatrigunatma Dharine Virinchi Narayana Shankaratmane. Hari Om, everybody. Welcome back to our weekly Vedanta classes. In our last session, we started with the Āditya Hṛdayam, our sun god, a Pratyaksha Devata, also known as Āditya, son of Aditi and Kashyapa, who is worshipped as the sustainer of life. on our planet Earth. We saw this famous composition in which Agastya Muni teaches this hymn to Bhagavan Sri Ramachandra. It comes in the Yuddha Kanda of Valmiki Ramayana. During the final battle between Sri Ramachandra and Ravana. In our previous session, we explored the first 8 verses of Āditya Hṛdayam. We saw that the setting is not merely a battlefield of Lanka, but the battlefield of every human heart. In this scenario, Sri Rama stands exhausted, overwhelmed, and momentarily worried by the enormity of the challenge before him. At that critical moment, sage Agastya appears and reveals this timeless secret, not merely a hymn to victory, but a vision that transforms from a seeker's perspective. What we'll do? First, we will chant the first 8 verses that we covered last week. You can chant along. And as we chant, we should be able to recollect the meaning and the explanations that we have gone through in the last session. Tato yuddha parishrantam samare chintaya sthitam Ravanam chagrato društva yuddhaya samupasthitam Daivataischa samagamya drashtum abhyagato ranam Upagamya bravidramam Agastyo Bhagavan Rishihi Rama Rama Mahabaho Shrunu Guhyam Sanatanam Yena Sarva Narin Vatsa Samare Vijayishyasi Āditya Hṛdayam Punyam Sarva Shatru Vinashanam Jayavaham Japen Nityam Akshayam Paramam Shivam Sarva Mangala Mangalyam Sarva Papa Pranashanam Chinta Shoka Prashamanam Ayurvardhanamuttamam Rashmimantam Samudyantam देवासुरनमस्कृतम् पूजयस्व विवस्वन्तम् भास्करम् भुवनेश्वरम् सर्वदेवात्मको ह्येष तेजस्वी रश्मिभावनः येष देवासुरगणान् लोकान् पाति गभस्तिभिः येष ब्रह्मा च विष्णुश्च शिवस्कन्दः प्रजापतिः महेन्द्रो धनदः कालो यमः सोमो ह्यपां पतिः. As we saw in our last session, verses 1 and 2 introduce the scenario where this has happened. All the gods have gathered in the gallery to witness this epic battle between Sri Rama and Ravana. At this juncture, sage Agastya teaches this Āditya Hṛdayam to Lord Rama. Sri Ramachandra, after receiving the prayer from Agastya Muni, chants it 3 times and his mind becomes free from all of the agitations as he prepares for this final battle and emerges victorious. In our previous session, we stood with Rama on the battlefield of Lanka, not merely as spectators of an epic battle, but as seekers, witnessing a timeless human condition. The war had reached its climax. Ravana stood before Rama, very powerful, relentless, and seemingly unconquerable. But we saw that the real battle was not outside, but the real battle was within. Valmiki Maharshi describes Rama as Tato Yuddha Parishrantam, exhausted from this battle. This exhaustion is not merely physical exhaustion. It represents exhaustion that every sincere seeker, every one of us, eventually encounter in life. The exhaustion of striving, the exhaustion of struggling, carrying on with our responsibilities, fighting life's battles. Confronting our limitations. And there comes a moment in all our lives when effort alone is no longer enough. At that moment, grace appears. And grace appears in the form of a guru. Thus, sage Agastya Agastya Muni enters the battlefield. This is a profound moment. If we notice carefully, last week, Agastya Muni did not bring new weapons to the battlefield. He did not bring in a new military strategy. No new reinforcements on the battlefield. Instead, he brings knowledge. Because the greatest weakness is not lack of power. It is the loss of inner vision. The greatest enemy is not Ravana. It is the forgetfulness of our true nature. If we analyze what Agastya gave Rama, many seekers at a very superficial level think Agastya Muni gave Rama a stotra for victory. But Vedanta invites us to think as Vedantic seekers to see a deeper meaning. Agastya Muni did not merely teach a prayer, he transformed Rama's vision on the battlefield. The teaching begins with Surya Bhagavan and it culminates in Brahman. It begins with the worship of light, but it culminates in the light of consciousness. It begins with the worship, but it culminates in this timeless knowledge. This is the genius of teaching in our Sanātana Dharma. The visible sun becomes the doorway to the invisible reality. Also, in our core ideas of our study, we saw the Kathopanishadic reference of that of supreme light, that Jyoti, that light of lights, Jyotisham Jyotihi, that alone that illuminates everything. Na tatra suryo bhati na chandra tarakam nema vidyuto bhanti kuto yamagnihi. We say this mantra while doing the arati. Tameva bantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. And from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, in that famous prayer that we chant at the end of every class, Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amrutam Gamaya. This is a prayer to lead us from darkness, from andhakara to light, to the light of that consciousness. A prayer to lead us from confusion to clarity. A prayer to lead us from fear to courage. from grief to wisdom. And at this point, we can also draw a connection to the Raghu Vamsha. See, Rama was born in the lineage of Raghu, Surya Vamsha. Rama belongs to the solar dynasty. But through Āditya Hṛdayam, he rediscovers the inner sun, we can say. Now, today, verses 9 onwards, Agastya Muni expands the vision of Bhagavan Surya from a visible celestial body into the manifestation of Ishvara himself. The seeker is gradually led from worship to contemplation, from the form to the formless principle, from the sun to the inner consciousness. Or we can say, from the light outside to the light within. That is Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Worship of the sun becomes the doorway. With that, let us chant verse number 9. Let's start off there. Pitaro vasavassadhyah Ashvinau maruto manuhu. Pitaro vasavassadhyah Ashvinau maruto manuhu. Vayurvahnih praja pranah. Vayurvahnih praja pranah. ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः. ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः. One more time together. पितरो वसवस्साद्याः अश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः. वायुर्वह्निः प्रजा प्राणः. ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः. Here in this verse, Surya Bhagavan is identified with the cosmic intelligence, life force, time, cosmic order. Pitaro Vasavaha. He is the spirit of our ancestors. Pitaraha. Vasavaha. There are 8 Vasus, they say. Anala, Anila, Soma, Ahas, Dhara, Dhruva, Pratyusha, Prabhasa. All these 8 are treasure givers, I believe. And also note 9 through the rest of the verses, they are all glorifying the sun god. Pitaro vasavassadhyah. He is the god Sadhya, semi-divine yogin. Ashvino maruto manuhu. Ashwini Devata. The physicians of the celestial world are Ashwini Kumaras, gods of health. That's why sun has that healing power. Maruto Manuhu, he is Maruta, who is responsible for this gentle breeze. वायुर्वह्नि प्रजाप्राणः ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः. Vayu, he is the wind god. Vahnihi, he is the god of fire. He is Manu. Vayu, Agni, Pranaha, he is the life breath of all beings. Rutukarta Prabhakaraha, he is the maker of seasons, the Rutus, and the giver of light. Moving on. Āditya Savita Surya, Āditya Savita Surya, Khagah Pusha Gabhastiman, Khagah Pusha Gabhastiman, Suvarna Sadrusho Bhanuh, Suvarna Sadrusho Bhanuh, Swarnareta Divakarah, Swarnareta Divakarah. One more time together. Āditya Savita Surya, Khagah Pusha Gabhastiman, Suvarna Sadrusho Bhanuh, Swarnareta Divakarah. See, Surya Bhagavan is praised through many names, each revealing a different aspect of divinity. Āditya, son of Aditi and Kashyapa. Savita, we have one in our class as well. Creator, impeller. Here is the connection to the Gayatri mantra that comes. When we say Om Bhurbhuva Suvah Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yo Na Prachodayat. The Gayatri Devi here is addressed as Savita. Not merely the physical sunlight, but the divine intelligence behind that creativity. That's why Savita is the creator. Āditya Savita Surya Khagah Pusha Gabhastiman. Surya, that shining one. Khagaha, he travels in the sky. Pushan, Pusha, nourisher. Gabhastiman, possessor of all these infinite rays. Suvarna Sadrusho Bhanuh, Swarnareta Divakarah. Suvarna Sadrushaha, this golden brilliance. Bhanuh, self-luminous. Suvarna Retaha. In some versions, you will also see Hiranya Retaha. Golden source of creation. Divakaraha. Divakaroti iti Divakaraha. The maker of the day. Chandra is Nishakara. So when you read this verse, two beautiful references, Upanishadic references come to mind. First from the Ishavasya Upanishad. Hiranmayena patrena satyastapihitam mukham tattvam pushanna pavruna satya dharmaya drushtaye. Here the seeker is saying the face of the truth is hidden by this golden disc. Hiranmayena patrena. Here the seeker is praying, O Pushan, O sun, remove that covering. You slide that golden disc slightly. As I am devoted to truth, Satya Dharmaya Drushtaye, I am hopelessly devoted to the truth. Please remove that veil from me that hides this truth. So then Āditya Hṛdayam also, this idea is reflected in what we are praying for. Golden covering. The seeker wants to discover that consciousness behind that powers even the sun. And that Hiranya stands for wealth and fame and all that in that context. And he expands on that in his prayer. Pushanne karsheyama surya prajapatya vyuha rashmin samuha tejah yatte rupam kalyanatamam tatte pashyami. This is a Upanishadic mantra, very famous. Yo savasau purushaha so hamasmi. Yo savasau purushaha so ahamasmi. The seeker here is praying, sun, please withdraw your rays. Why? Because the rays are still a part of the manifest universe. The seeker wants the truth behind those brilliant rays. Yo savasau purusha so saha ahamasmi. The Purusha shining in the sun. In that sun, I am that. That consciousness is me. How beautiful it is. The consciousness shining through the sun is my own true nature. So you can see, we have seen two Upanishadic backing, and you can see a great parallel in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also. In the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna says, Ādityanamaham Vishnuhu Jyotisham Raviram Shuman. Adityanam aham Vishnuhu. Amongst the Adityas, I am Vishnu. Amongst all luminous bodies, Jyotisham Ravihi Amshuman. I am that radiant sun. Jyotisham Raviram Shuman. Among all the sources of light, I am that radiant sun. That sun is singled out here because, like Atman or Brahman, sun is self-luminous. Swayam Jyoti, Swayam Prakasha. It reveals everything else. The beautiful quality of sun is it expects nothing in return. It shines equally on all. Therefore, in Vedanta, Surya becomes this most accessible symbol of Brahman. And in the 15th chapter as well, a very good reference in the 15th chapter, Yadāditya gatam tejah jagad bhasayate khilam yachandramasi yacchagnau tattejo vidhi mamakam. Bhagavan Krishna says, the brilliance residing in the sun that illumines this whole world, that which is in the moon and the fire, know that brilliance to be mine. So these are good references from the Shruti Shastra and the Smriti Shastra. And moving on, verse number 11. Haridashva sahasrarchihi Haridashva sahasrarchihi Sapta saptir marichiman Sapta saptir marichiman Timiron mathanashambhu Vashtamartanda amshuman. One more time together. Haridashva sahasrarchihi Sapta saptir marichiman Timiron mathanashambhu Vashtamartanda amshuman. See, he has these green horses. Green is a symbol of victory. He has thousands of rays, meaning infinite rays, indicating he is the dispeller of darkness. He has 7 horses. Symbolically representing, they say, 7 lokas. He removes the sufferings of people, gives them a pleasant life. He pervades this whole world with his immeasurable amount of rays, sun rays. Timiron mataha. He is the destroyer of andhakara. He is destroyer of darkness. Haridashva sahasrarchihi Sapta saptir marichiman Timiron matanashambhu Tvashtamartanda amshuman. What is our reflection point here? Physical sun destroys external darkness. Sun is compared to knowledge. Knowledge destroys our internal darkness, ignorance. Bhagavan Sri Krishna brings this very same idea in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Gnane natu tadagnanam yesham nashitamatmanah. Gnane natu tadagnanam yesham nashitamatmanah. Tesham Āditya Hṛdayam prakāṣayati tat param. Krishna compares this self-knowledge to sunrise. This is Arunodaya, becoming Suryodaya. Arunodaya, you know what it means? This is the dawn before sunrise. Beautifully visible in places like Arizona. Sky puts up a show. Before the sun rises, there appears to be this reddish glow in the eastern sky. This sacred period is called Arunodaya. The word comes from Aruna. Who is Aruna? He is the charioteer of Surya Bhagavan. According to the Puranas, Aruna rides ahead of Surya's chariot. I think I might have an old picture of him. You will like it. See those leading horses that are green? And Aruna is that charioteer. And he puts up this reddish glow in the eastern sky, announcing the arrival of sun to the world. He prepares the world for the coming of light. Arunodaya is not at the arrival of sun. Arunodaya is the unmistakable sign that the night, the darkness is ending. Therefore, in the life of the spiritual seeker also, when the Viveka, Vairagya, Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti, Mumukshutva, remember what we call it as 4Ds of Vedanta: discrimination or differentiation, Viveka; dispassion, Vairagya; 6 disciplines, Shama Adi Shatka Sampatti; and Mumukshutva, burning desire for liberation. When we have those necessary qualifications, and when we become the sadhana chatushtaya sampanna adhikari, a fit student, Guru comes before the dawn of knowledge in our lives. And that knowledge is the Suryodaya. And liberation, we can say, can be compared to that full brilliance of the sun. The midday sun can be liberation. I hope you like this analogy. Moving on to verse number 12. Hiranyagarbhashishirah tapano bhaskaro ravihi. Hiranyagarbhashishirah tapano bhaskaro ravihi. Agnigarbho adite putrah. Agnigarbho adite putrah. Shankashishiranasanah. Shankashishiranasanah. One more time together. Hiranyagarbhashishirah tapano bhaskaro ravihi. Agnigarbho adite putrah. Shankashishiranasanah. He is this golden source of knowledge, prosperity. He cools down the world from his reign. He bestows heat. He is the illuminator, the source of light, Ravi. Hiranyagarbhashishirah tapano bhaskaro ravihi. He is praised by everyone because everybody loves daylight. Agnigarbho, he has fire within himself. Adite putraha, he is the son of Aditi and Kashyapa. Shankashishiranaşanaha, he emerges at night, becomes cool, he destroys the cold, snow, fog. Moving on to verse number 13. Vyomanathastamu bedhi rugyajusamaparagah. Vyomanathastamu bedhi rugyajusamaparagah. Ghanavrushtirapam mitrah vindhyaviti plavangamah. One more time together. Vyomanathastamu bedhi rugyajusamaparagah. Ghanavrushtirapam mitrah vindhyaviti plavangamah. Vyomanathastamu bedhi. Vyoma means space. He is the Lord of the space, the ruler of the sky. Tamo bedhi, dispeller of darkness. Tamas. Rugyajusamaparagah, he is the master of the Vedas. Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda. Ghana vrustirapam mitrah vindhyaviti plavangamah. He is the reason for heavy rains because he is friend to the waters. As rays bring life, it purifies the waters in the lakes, in the ocean. He courses along in his own orbit. Atapi mandali mrutyuh pingala sarvatapanah. Atapi mandali mrutyuh pingala sarvatapanah. Kavirvishvo mahateja rakta sarvabhavodbhavah. One more time together. Atapi mandali mrutyuh pingala sarvatapanah. Kavirvishvo mahateja rakta sarvabhavodbhavah. Atapi mandali mrutyuh. Atapi, this producer of heat. Mandali, in a circular disc-like form. He is adorned with the circle of rays that we saw. Mrutyuhu, he is compared to the time, Lord of death. Pingala sarvatapanah, he heats up everything. Kavir Vishwo, he is the expert. Kavi, he means expert in knowledge. Great brilliance. Mahateja. Rakta sarva bhavodbhavah. He is dear to all. He sustains life for all. Sarva Bhava Udbhavaha. Moving on to 15. Nakshatragrahataranam Adhipo Vishwabhavanah. Nakshatragrahataranam Adhipo Vishwabhavanah. Tejasam api tejasvi. Tejasam api tejasvi. Dvadashatman namostute. Dvadashatman namostute. He is the Lord of the stars. Nakshatragrahataranam, Lord of stars, planets and constellations. Adhipo Vishwabhavanah. He stimulates everything in the universe. Tejasam api tejasvi. He appears in 12 forms. In 12 months of the year. Dvadashatman namostute. Salutations to you. Nakshatragrahataranam Adipo Vishwabhavanah. Tejasamapi tejasvi. Dvadashatman namostute. Namah Purvaya Giraye. Namah Purvaya Giraye. Paschima Yadraye Namaha. Namah Purvaya Giraye. Paschima Yadraye Namaha. Jyotirgananam Pataye. Dinadhipataye Namaha. One more time together. Namah Purvaya Giraye. Paschima Yadraye Namaha. Jyotirgananam Pataye. Dinadhipataye Namaha. Salutations to that Lord who rises in the eastern mountains and sets in the western mountains. Namah Purvaya Giraye. Paschima Yadraye Namaha. Jyotirgananam Pataye. Dinadhipataye Namaha. Dina Adhipati. He is the Lord in charge of the day. So, what are our key takeaways today? The first 8 verses taught us to worship Surya, Surya Bhagavan, as a celestial body, as a Pratyaksha Devata. Slowly we transition to this cosmic intelligence, bringing in this celestial order, a Vedic vision. Surya Bhagavan as a maintainer, keeper of the Ritus, keeper of this cosmic harmony with predictable rising and setting, rhythmic cycles of time, seasons, growth, decay. So, for a Vedantic seeker, for all of us, this should translate to what? When we are pursuing the truth in our inner journey, there should be no chaos, there should be no agitation, pure clarity, simplicity, spiritual life in alignment with the Dharma, no emotional reactions. So, what is it signifying? The spiritual unfoldment is orderly. In fact, everything in nature is orderly and rhythmic, right from the blooming of the flower. We will stop here, continue in the next set of verses in the next week. But before we leave today, let us chant the verses we have covered so that the tune stays in your memory. पितरो वसवः साद्या अश्विनौ मरुतो मनुः वायुर्वह्निः प्रजाः प्राणः ऋतुकर्ता प्रभाकरः आदित्यः सविता सूर्यः खगः पूषा गभस्तिमान् सुवर्णः सदृशो भानुः स्वर्णरेता दिवाकरः हरिदश्वः सहस्रार्चिः सप्तः सप्तिर्मरीचिमान् तिमिरोन्मतनः शम्भुः त्वष्टा मार्ताण्ड अंशुमान्. I hope you like this picture of Āditya Bhagavan in the Arunodaya. Hiranyagarbha shishirah tapano bhaskaro ravihi agnigarbho aditeh putrah shankah shishiranasanah vyomanatastamo vedi ऋग्यजुस्सामपारगः धनावृष्टिरपां मित्रः विन्ध्यवीतिप्लवङ्गमः आतपी मण्डली मृत्युः पिङ्गलः सर्वतापनः कविर्विश्वो महातेजः रक्तः सर्वभवोद्भवः नक्षत्रग्रहताराणाम् अधिपो विश्वभावनः तेजसामपि तेजस्वी द्वादशात्मन्नमोऽस्तु ते नमः पूर्वाय गिरये पश्चिमायाद्रये नमः ज्योतिर्गणानां पतये दिनाधिपतये नमः ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ तत्सत्. May all be happy, may all be healthy, may all see auspiciousness, may none suffer. Om peace, peace, peace. With that, I'll open it up for our interactive session. Please stay back if you can.